you, NFL, for these overseas games that start so early, and we get notified about a player being inactive that morning. For fantasy football players, not realizing Jaylen Warren was even dealing with an injury, waking up and then forgetting the game was even on. First of all, forgetting that the game was even on, and then go, oh God, Jaylen Warren, I have him starting at running back. That's bullshit, NFL. Need to fix that. Those games need to start at I don't know, like 9. But yeah, Kenneth Gainwell got in the end zone a couple times. DK Metcalf had a huge half, 122 yards in that first half. Steelers,
that 80-yarder that really...
Yeah, they were clicking. And then they almost let it slip away. And I think that's kind of been the thing with all these games where it was Tomlin deciding, you know what, screw it. I don't want to take 3 points and go up by 16 or whatever it was. And then they forget to cover Jordan Addison. They just forget. I don't know in that situation how you let a receiver like that just get completely behind you. Luckily, Peyton Wilson chased his ass down in what was a moment that became the fastest clocked linebacker ever by Next Gen Stats at 22.48 miles per hour.
Damn.
And then luckily, I think the Steelers, if they were playing any quarterback besides like Carson Wentz, they lose that game. That final drive, Carson Wentz, he tried to throw an interception. Steelers committed penalties on back-to-back plays, and then Carson Wentz finally did throw an interception, allowing the Steelers, to walk out of Ireland with the victory. So nice job, Pittsburgh.
They legitimately, they could win the AFC North by default because Cleveland, they don't have an offense, right? Joe Flacco did not look good against the Lions.
Flacco.
I wish we got that Joe Flacco last week against the Packers, but of course now I got to hear every Lions fan be like, "Oh, it wasn't so difficult to beat the Cleveland Browns. How come you couldn't do it?" And now I got to hear from the Bears. So that's the Cleveland Browns. Great defense, but offense not good. Then you have the Ravens, who are beat to hell with injuries.
And to be fair to the Vikings, their offensive line's in shambles. They had 3 starters out in that game. Two of their linemen left during the game.
Yes. Yeah. So Ravens are beat to hell. And now for the Ravens, like their opening schedule also was atrocious, right? Like they are going up against the Bills, the Lions, the Chiefs. Like that's a tough run of games, for anybody here. But they got to clean some things up. Then you have the Bengals, who we'll see what they look like tonight. Maybe they're going to put up 40 points. We'll see what they look like tonight. But without Joe Burrow, the ceiling is pretty low for how high they're going to go. And then you have the Steelers. And it's like you said, like they have flaws on their team. But Rodgers was efficient yesterday. He was getting the ball out quick, just like he was doing in week 1 against the Jets. And they were finding early success. The defense was actually playing pretty well. They established the run. And who knows, man, like maybe balance is what's going to do it. And, we're going to be heading into week 5, so we're not crowning anybody yet. But taking a look at that AFC North, I think that's probably the biggest surprise. You can't account for Joe Burrow's injury, but that's probably the biggest surprise of just, damn, the Ravens, they got beat, man. Like they got belt to ass yesterday.
You know who Aaron Rodgers would, I think, appreciate in that offense is George Pickens.
Maybe. He might.
The Ravens, they're fucking dead to me. I'm sick of your shit, Baltimore. Picked you to be my AFC Super Bowl team. Yep. You suck. Yep. Chiefs dominated that game, basically start to finish. Just outplayed them on every level. Baltimore. And I get it, the injuries. But most of their injuries are to defense. I know Ronnie Stanley's dealing with something, playing through injury or whatever. But if you want people to take you serious, you got to go toe-to-toe with a team like the Chiefs, and you just couldn't. Your offense disappeared. And that's what's annoying. If you're a Ravens fan this season, watching your team score all these points every week, 30, what are they averaging, like 32 points a game? Something ridiculous. And then they play the Chiefs, and they can't score shit. They get a late garbage time touchdown, so it doesn't look as bad, but like...
Justice Hill, yeah.
You're so dead to me, Baltimore. I had expectations. And you didn't meet it. Now the Chiefs are, 2-2, and they look like they're figuring stuff out. They got Xavier Worthy back. They'll get Rashee Rice back. So they're in this weird spot where it feels like they're going to get better every week.
So that's what I wanted to say. You talk about the Chiefs offense, which definitely has been lacking the first 3 weeks. Xavier Worthy, like even when he wasn't putting up insane stats yesterday, like he unlocked that offense because you had to account for him, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was like end arounds and you were using him in the ground game, whether it was just another receiver who's a speedy guy on the edge, like that seemed to make that offense hum along. They established the run and were actually able to do that. And of course, their defense played well. But it's exactly like you said. For the Chiefs, even if they lost yesterday, I wasn't as concerned with them because they're going to get Rashee Rice back. And so fast forward a couple of weeks, that offense should be even better. And they were pretty damn good yesterday.
Yeah, the Ravens, they put Matabuke on IR. I think, did Roquan Smith leave the game with an injury? Kyle Hamilton? No, wait, Marlon Humphrey got banged up.
Yep.
Like, that's tough. For a defense that was already struggling, too. It wasn't like
he's 40.
The Ravens defense was playing well before the injuries.
No.
Now it's like, oh, here's a fun question. And Lamar, hamstring. How serious is that? How long is he going to miss? I don't know. Who's gonna have the better record at the end of the season right now? Two teams who had high expectations, very different situations, Vikings or Ravens.
I like to think it's the Ravens on paper because, like,
you would like to.
They get healthy.
You would like to.
Big Man was great yesterday. I'd like to say the Ravens, but I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
They gotta get healthy. I mean, but both teams gotta get healthy. I think just Lamar because over JJ right now. I'll go with him every time. But
I feel like the Vikings should have traded for Cam Robinson at this rate.
I feel like, the Ravens game, and we'll move off this in a minute, but it's a tough start for the Ravens. And I think what makes it worse is the expectations that we're heading into this season.
Yeah.
Because everybody and their mother, including me, like I'm looking at this team on paper and I'm like, damn, they should be really darn good. And the Jair Alexander thing did not work out. He's getting healthy scratches out here, and I feel bad, man. I love Jair Alexander, but that has not helped their secondary. The injuries are not helping. Unfortunately for the Ravens, they're in this really bad spot where they've lost against the Bills and now they've lost against the Chiefs. Two teams that they're likely going to be contending with when it comes to seeding later in the season, especially if they don't win their division. And again, it's super duper early, but these are the kind of wins that early on in the season, it's like, damn, look at the Chargers, right? The Chargers, who lost yesterday against the Giants, 3-0 within their division. That's going to help them whenever seeding comes into play later this season. But
assuming they can stay healthy.
Sure. And Joe Alt got injured yesterday.
They lose Joe Alt. I don't know how serious his ankle injury is. He was carted off. The Giants get the win, but Malik Neighbors tears his ACL on that wonderful field they roll out every week at MetLife Stadium. So Giants fans, they got the win. They got to see Jackson Dart.
Biggest surprise of the week, I would say. And JJ, I think it's going that way.
That was nice, but then you lose the guy I think you're banking on to help Jackson Dart through the course of this season. Yeah. So it's like you win a small battle as a Giants fan, but like your concerns now for this season are high. Because honestly, like Jackson Dart looked okay as a passer. Sure. He did other things effectively. I think he provided like a spark. There's a lot there to get better at and to improve for Dart. So we'll see how it goes. And now you got to do it without Malik Neighbors, who's arguably one of the best receivers in the entire NFL in his second season. Yeah. And holy shit, Tom.
I would think that was probably the biggest surprise of the weekend for me was the Giants, because they're another one too. Like you can talk about Dart as a passer, but he made that offense look functional. Like Scattaboo, who already had a pretty nice week last week, he continued building upon that. And it seems like as he's going to get more and more reps, I said it last week that he just reminds me of that classic, bruiser kind of running back that the Giants have had in the past. And I mean, it's a big win for the Giants, man. It's huge for Jackson Dart. I'm super happy for him. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, though, because without Malik Neighbors, it doesn't look as optimistic. And I don't even know how optimistic it was. Hey, man, if I got 2 serious concussions, I don't give a flying crap what you're wearing on your head.